Hi, my name is Manpreet Singh and welcome to my YouTube channel. This channel focuses on real estate and mortgage insights. This channel aims to empower viewers with the knowledge to make informed decisions in the real estate market. Please subscribe to stay informed about the Canadian real estate market. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I have a special guest, Mr. Sam Legha. Sam, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me here.
I'm going to start off with a few questions and we'll take the conversation from there.
Sure.
My first question to all my guests is, how long have you been in the business of real estate and what exactly inspired you to join real estate?
I actually been in business close to 6 years.
Nice.
I got into this country as an international student,
Okay.
right? So when I came to this country as an international student in 2012, I started my journey by going through lots of ups and downs through education, working, and getting my permanent resident in this country. When I realized in year 2017 that I got to do something different than doing my 9 to 5 job. So I invested my first property. When I invested my first property, and within a year, I made good profit. And that good profit that I can tell was very close to what I was making yearly on my job. So I realized this is something that I should go, and I started guiding all my friends, family, that buddy, this is what you should do. This is real estate. And that's when I got into this business. So I got into this business in 2018. Since then, I worked hard on myself, on my self-improvements, and getting into this business, I've been always a full-time investor as well. Because if you're an investor, you bought the house, you can guide it right. So I've been buying house, flipping, investor, same time full-time real estate agent, and then I became broker. I cleared my exam, and then now I have a team of 6 people that work with me, and we help all the clients in GT and around in the terms of either buying a first-time home, selling, investment, and commercial as well.
Right.
Yes.
So when you landed as a student, what were you studying and what was your first job in Canada?
Very good question. So when I got into this country, I actually had a program of mechanical engineering.
Nice.
Yes. So it was actually a 3-year program. I did mechanical engineering, got my job. Job was great. Trust me, I loved the job, man. It was 9 to 5. It was good job. I was making very decent money. But the only problem was that after 5 o'clock, I was super tired. I had no energy to do my hobbies. Like I'm a car guy. I wanted to go drive around my car. I want to go wash my car. I had no energy. I'm draining my days, right? But it's a long journey from mechanical engineering to being a full-time real estate broker.
Right. And now let's come back to your initial days in the real estate journey.
Yes.
So how was the initial days? Did you face any challenges?
Yes. I faced a lot of challenges. Trust me, everybody say that there is someone who help you, there is someone who can guide you. Yes, I have been actually with 3 different real estate brokerages where brokers do help you, the manager broker do help you. No, nothing against them. But at the same time, you learn from your own mistakes, right? When I was a brand new agent, I would go with my buyer client, some things I would even don't know. Like a small example, my client bought a property. It was for sale by the bank, right? And there was so much tax due, property tax due, $20,000 that we figured out in the time while we were doing the deal. So there are small mistakes that I also did in my journey, which I think everybody did. But it was a very challenging time, and trust me, up until today, I still learn every day. And I believe in learning every day.
The learning never stops.
Never stops.
Especially when you were in the business, right?
Exactly.
And now let's come back to your social media. And I probably saw you first time must have been on TikTok.
Okay.
And very unique videos, a lot of knowledge that you share. So it shows that you have worked very hard on it.
Thank you.
And at the same time, I just want to know that how social media has changed your business, and how did you come up with the idea eating with real estate?
A lot of questions. A lot of people actually ask me this question with the eating part. Honestly speaking, when I've been into business, as I told you, from past 6.5 years. But the problem was I never realized that social media got so much power into it. Because obviously I was making into writing deals. I was busy and all that kind of stuff. But I never realized that social media is something. So when 2024, I started seeing, obviously everybody faced that challenge in their real estate business or any other business related to real estate, where 2024 was not a very good year for everybody, right? So that time I realized I got to do something different to increase my real estate portfolio, to increase my business. At that time, I'm like, I got to do something different what nobody's doing. So first of all, I'm a very foodie guy. So I love eating food. How I stay fit, I go gym twice a day. Even eating that much of food, right? So I'm a very foodie guy. And then I realized that all the Manalians are into food, right? They like to eat food. People, it's not like my wife doesn't cook. She cooks very good meals, but still I like to have one meal outside, right?
Right.
So when I see everybody going through outside food restaurants, I'm like, all these people are stopping to look at the video for the food. So I just gave one video. So my first video was recorded by my wife. So she recorded that video saying that, Sam, you're eating? Let me record. I started talking. She recorded. And after that, then I got to realize that I got good views. I wanted to give so much knowledge with no cost. I'm not here to tell that I have sold this many homes or this many clients have bought through me. My job was to aware people about few financial tricks that they can adopt in their life to become successful. It could be either in finance industry, it could be in real estate, it could be in car leasing. I just made a video about car leasing. When you're in business, you're getting a car lease, don't sign it as a guarantor because a lot of people sign as a guarantor. I watched
that video,
right? A lot of people sign as a guarantor.
Very important.
Very important. If you sign as a guarantor, it will show on your credit.
100%.
And then you'll have a hard time getting qualified for mortgages.
You know what? A lot of people also do it in real estate.
Yes.
So I just co-signed or I just added as a guarantor just to help them with the mortgage. I was like, now you got to pay the price.
Exactly.
When it comes to buy your own house, you have to either offset that expense of that property.
Yes.
So now it's not going to help you in any way.
Yes.
So you put yourself
absolutely
into trouble.
Absolutely. So a lot of people don't even know because there's lack of awareness, right? Again, very good question. But I came into this platform not to gain more business. Obviously, my business was slow. I wanted to have more of funnels of the clients. But at the same time, when I made my first video, I wanted to provide knowledge. I wanted to provide information, valuable information with no cost and still be entrusted with the little food. You know, sometimes I was going Indian food, Chinese food, burger, going through drive-thrus. It's a fun journey. I like doing it.
You know what? The most important part here is you understand the importance of personal branding and your business. They're two separate things.
Yes.
A lot of people do not understand. They all their videos, all their posts is about selling. Selling. And then people, a lot of times people don't really like it.
Exactly.
The way you have grown in the last few months is because of your providing value.
Yes.
And you're not selling the viewers anything.
Yes.
And at the same time, and you're working on your personal branding. A lot of people cannot differentiate. What do you do for work or what are you in the business is a secondary thing.
Yes.
The first thing is about who are you, right?
That's true.
So
that's true.
I completely agree with that.
And I actually believe a lot in consistency. So if you keep going with the same one type of sequence, I can make one video with the food, one in the office, one in the car, one with the client. That's okay. But if you want to create your brand, and this is 2025 where branding is everything. If you create your brand with the consistency of one style, it could be you wearing very flashy clothes with no food and make a nice videos. It could be you fully dressed up with a nice food, or it could be you flashy with food. So that's a trend you got to follow. If you follow one trend, you make the brand, trust me, people start recognizing you. You might not feel the full power of the real estate kickback, but I'll feel the more power of the whole social media through my real estate. Might be after 2 years, might be after 3 years. So I'm here for a long-term journey, which I will continue because nobody forced me to do it. I pushed myself to do it, and I will continue doing it. And coming to your last thing that you have mentioned about the viewership and about the following and everything. So I'm not a very big fan of having 50,000 followers or 15,000 followers or even 10K. I'm a big fan of having more views. Why? Because if your video is being reached out to more people, that means your content is valuable and is shareable, right? Because I don't want to name anybody, but there's so many people with their following of 15K, 10K. You look at their views, it's not even 200. It's not even 300. I don't want to say those are fake followers. They could be still original followers. But the thing is that the content is not valuable anymore because you gain those followers with your good content. But now it's not good content anymore. So again, very good thing that you have to stay consistent, and that's why I'm being consistent, so that my viewership stays proactive with my content and always stay connected. So if they stay connected, my page, my brand will grow.
Does growing the social media directly helps in growing the business, or it's not really that much of a connection?
Honestly speaking, what I personally realized, it didn't I would say it don't affect you right away, but it will affect you slowly. Like people start recognizing you, saying, Sam, I saw your videos, man, come make it at my restaurant. Then you get that connection. You're doing
Nice.
very good at this business, so I want to talk about you. So like that, it happens. It's not like somebody's going to DM me, say, I want to buy a car or want to buy a house. What would you recommend? That will not happen.
True.
But at least, again, I came into this just to give the awareness, knowledge, information. Once that delivered, once people start seeing it, might be a good amount of period of year, 2 years, and then our business.
And I mean, that's how we connected as well, right?
Exactly.
So now let's come back to your real estate transactions. Who do you prefer working with, buyers or sellers?
Honestly speaking, I love both. I love buyers and sellers. But when I started my real estate journey, I started with buyer clients, right? Because they were my favorite. Why? Because I was in their shoes. Because when I bought my first property, I was a buyer, not a seller, right? So when I look what buyer has to go through, that's why they're my favorite client. So I used to work a lot with the buyers, but what has recently changed in my book of business is that I have grown a team of 6 people. They work with me, and in that, I handle buyers through them, but I work directly and closely with investors and sellers.
Right.
Yes.
So when you're working with first-time home buyers, there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of things that they have in mind, and they don't have the right knowledge, right? So what do you think are the ways that the first-time home buyers can prepare themselves for this big transaction?
Yes, trust me, the first thing they should do is give you a call and get a mortgage approval.
Right.
Because a lot of people, they start going window shopping, starting looking at the properties where they would want to buy their dream home for $1 million, but they're not even qualified for. I'm not saying they can't be qualified for 1 million. They might be already qualified for 1.2, but they are looking for a smaller property, right? So what I like my buyers or my clients to do is that first thing you need to do is go get your pre-approval. Once your pre-approvals are in, then we can talk about what cities we got to focus on. But the thing is, as you ask, the what things they have to be careful and be mindful of. First is responsibility, doing their payments on time, right? Where people would buy the house and sometimes people don't even know after how long I should change my furnace filter. How do I cover my AC when it's minus 25 outside and it's a snow?
Right.
So these are little things that they need to know. And when anybody does a buyer transaction with me and my team, we deliver them a buyer package guide on the day of the closing. That buyer package guide will tell them everything they need to know when they step into their first property in Canada.
Right.
That's how we help them.
That's really important for the first-time home buyers to understand that. What are the expenses and what is the main thing about the ownership, and if they get the right guidance even after the closing.
Exactly.
Because what I know is that a lot of times realtors, some of them, is once the deal is closed, they will, okay, thank you so much for the business. If you have a referral, let me know. But then if you provide them with some kind of guidance that these are the next steps for you, because now you just became a homeowner, you're no longer paying tenant. And it's very important to understand that now you have a much more responsibility. You're going to be making mortgage payments every month, property taxes payment, utilities are all on your name.
Exactly.
Right? So these are, I'm pretty sure that will really help the first-time home buyers.
Yes.
Now let's come back to, I saw a lot of videos with you sitting in the Corvette, topless Corvette. You are a car guy yourself,
I love
right?
cars.
Amazing. So how do you think buying a nice car, because I'm a car guy myself, that's the reason I wanted to ask you this question. How does buying a car or having a nice car helps you network or grow your business?
Honestly speaking, as you know, my journey came into this country 17 years old, 2012. If I pull up my phone right now, from 0 contacts, my phone has 10,000 contacts.
Amazing.
How do you think I made those contacts? I made those contacts through my car, because I'm a very extrovert person, but at the same time, I get a topic which is common between me and the other person who admires my car. So when I go to,
100%.
gas station or car meets, you familiar, that's when you get to talk to people. And then networking in any business is the only key you want to grow.
Right,
And not only with the Corvette, trust me, even if you drive any XYZ car, but you have the car thing in your heart, but when you start admiring other people's car, what do? You create a relationship. Hey, I really like your car, man. Can I get your contact number? We can be in touch. One day I'll be lucky one when I can afford the same car. I still have my dream cars in my car. In my current car, I still have my dream car picture in there. That's right there.
Right.
And right there, sitting in there, anytime I see it anywhere, I'll go talk to the person and say, buddy, I really like your car. This is my dream car. What do you do, by the way? He tell me I do this. I exchange my business card and then we get into a relation. He's into my phone and he's into my database. We start talking. No matter we only do business, but still we have the connection.
You touched a very good point that going to the car meets, and I know the Corvette groups are pretty big in the GTA.
Yeah,
I have some
Americans.
Americans, yeah. So going to the car meets, they definitely help.
Yes.
And that's how you grow your network. So within my journey, when I landed in Canada as a landed immigrant, I didn't know anyone. So the first thing I did was got a nice car. I tuned it. It was 800 horsepower.
Nice.
And then I started going to the car meets. So that's where I met a lot of nice people. And that's how I kind of grew my network from without knowing anybody in this country to making maybe like 300 friends in a matter of a year. So I met a lot of guys in the car meets, BMW groups and, Corvette groups and cars and coffee and all that stuff, right? So because I already had that experience from Australia, that's how I met a lot of Aussies. I made them friends because I was active in the car groups, right?
Nice.
So that's something I completely agree with. If you can afford the car, go get it because it's your hobby. It makes you happy and it's going to help you network. So use it as your weapon and do not just focus more on the financial, the monthly payments. Of course, from a financial perspective, it's going to affect your affordability.
Yes.
Do not go, if you're not a first-time home buyer, you do not have a real estate, don't just go and purchase a $2,000 or $2,500 car payment.
Exactly.
It's going to affect your purchasability 100%. But if you can afford those cars, make a larger down payment. Use it, man. You only live once, right?
Yeah, you only live once. And not only that, when you get off the work or when you finish or close your office, you get into the car, it's a whole different world. You just feel happy. Yeah. I feel proud, man. It could be any car. It could be a 10,000 worth car or 100,000 or a 200,000. If I like it and I drive it to like it. If I drive it to like it, I'll be happy about it. But if it's something I'm cussing myself thinking, oh man, I don't like this, it's broken. Yeah, I got to work hard to buy another one and a better one, but I still have to do it. So trust me, you're absolutely right. It makes you feel happy, makes you feel proud when you're into your personal liking car that you like.
Right. So. No, I agree 100%. And very important is to understand that do not put in a lot of big financial burden on you at the same time, but enjoy life. It's really important. So I was going to come back to the regions around GTA or within GTA. So let's say you have a first-time home buyer, they work remotely, so they are very flexible with the location. What are the regions or what are the areas you think will have a bright future for them? Or even if somebody that's willing to relocate and they are not specific about which area in the GTA or outside GTA they should be looking into, what is your suggestion to those sort of people?
Those sort of people, it depends first of all into what type of budget they have. If they have a good budget that they're still looking to relocate but to a better community where they can have good amount of returns, I highly, because I personally myself, I live in Halton Hills and I work in Halton Hills, right?
Nice.
So the whole Halton, so basically Milton, Georgetown, Acton, and somewhat of Burlington and Oakville, right? So coming to Burlington, coming to Oakville, coming to Milton and Georgetown could be the great opportunity because a lot of people don't even know that they're right in front of Toronto Premium Mall, which everybody knows.
But your team can help people buying anywhere, right?
Anywhere. They help in anywhere. But if you ask me, somebody who's with a good budget and wanting to stay closer to GTA, there's a lot of development coming because the reason behind Halton, has very, very, very low property taxes. So that property taxes can help you save a lot monthly, first of all. Second, for any first-time home buyers who are looking to relocate and save some money, they can go to Kitchener-Waterloo. And trust me, Kitchener-Waterloo, we work very aggressively with all first-time home buyers where we help them to find a nicer property where they can live upstairs, rent downstairs. That will give them more monthly cash flow to grow their personal life, right? But if somebody wants to stay closer to Mississauga and stuff like that and still want to be in a newer property, then I think getting into Halton region is very best. Number one, I said because of property taxes. Number second, I would say right in front of Toronto Premium Mall, there is a spa, flying theater, and 2 hotels and a water park. Theme park is coming.
Oh, nice.
Yes, yeah, it's almost getting, the zoning is being approved, and probably by 2027 or somewhat 2028.
Close to Winston Churchill.
Close to Winston Churchill,
Okay.
yes. If that gets approved, why all these cities are being majorly aggressive to get that approved? Because even Mississauga, even Milton, Burlington, and all the Halton region wants it to get approved because all their residents has to go travel down all the way to the Wonderland with all the traffic for their kids' water park, theme park. So that's what they're bringing right in front of Toronto Premium. And if the 413 comes, trust me, that's going to boom the whole Halton region. So I love Halton region, and anybody's
That's
who's
a new
looking to
highway,
relocate.
right?
Yes, 413.
What is the connectivity?
The connectivity is right from 401 and 407, right where the junction of 401 and 407 is. That's where the 413 is going to start from.
Oh,
That is
wow.
what the Milton and Toronto Premium Mall is.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
anybody
yeah.
will take a highway from there and can go north up to Barrie, Vaughan, stuff like that. So
Wow,
you don't have to
wow,
go
wow.
through all the highway 400 and 401 traffic chaos.
Right.
Yes.
That's going to be a game changer.
Yes. But again, as coming back to your question, it all depends on clients' mortgage capacity and depends on their budget. But me and my team, we work majorly in GTA and around GTA. So a first-time home buyer for a price budget 700,000-800,000, freehold property, no brainer. Just go Kitchener-Waterloo. Yes, if you have a closer to $1 million budget, you want it to be a nicer property, less property taxes, good schools first of all for kids, for families who have kids. Trust me, Halton has very good school regions.
And also another thing to consider is, as you mentioned, there could be additional income coming from the basement.
Yeah.
So if you were to purchase, let's say, a townhouse in the GTA, and then with no capacity or no option to make secondary income, right? And whereas if you purchase in Kitchener-Waterloo, you probably might be able to get a nice detached, right?
Exactly.
With the option where you can rent out the basement and generate more money.
Exactly.
So that's going to help 100%.
That's going to help 100%. And then not only Kitchener-Waterloo, I just want to add one more thing where a lot of my clients who are first-time home buyers, they are in their late 20s, like 27, 28 years old. They want to buy their first home. They only got $50,000, $60,000. They're looking to buy their dream home. You know what I tell them? I'm like, your first house is not your dream house.
100%,
because when I bought my first house, I didn't thought it's my dream house.
Yeah,
I bought my first property in Canada, 200 kilometers from here, London, Ontario.
Oh, wow.
Right? And then still, up until today, anybody who comes up and tell me they want to create a real estate wealth,
That was an
want to
investment
buy.
property, right?
Yes. First one, investment. Hardcore investment. And now anybody comes around the same age group when I was in the same age group, I tell them, buy that property, put 60,000 down. I'll help you buy 550, 600,000 bungalow, rent upstairs, downstairs, and live rent-free in Ontario. And then after 2 years, build the equity. I'll get you a nice dream house in Halton or Peel or anywhere in GTA. But if with 60,000, we're looking to buy our dream home for 1.2 million, first of all, it's not going to happen because we're shot by down. And second, you're not mortgage qualified up to that amount, right? So those are the reason I like to guide them, that the first house is not your dream house. Just put the seed in. Just put the seed in the real estate. Let it help. Let it grow.
Right. That's very important to understand.
Yes.
And now let's come back to the current real estate market. 2024 wasn't really an aggressive year for all the realtors and everybody involved.
Yes.
What do you think about 2025?
2025, I personally believe it's going to be a better year than 2024. But with 2025, it's still going to be a bit of a roller coaster. Why? Because a lot of things are being involved in 2025 where we do have some rate cuts announcements, where we're dealing with our neighbor country's new prime minister. And number third, who knows when we're going to have our elections in Canada. It could be sometime this summer or it could be October. So 2025 have a lot to offer to our economy. So getting back to that point is that the economy is getting better. It's getting better than 2023 and 2024.
Yeah.
So I personally believe 2025 is going to be bright future. The interest rates has came down, better. The interest rates are better. The economy is getting better. Our leadership is getting better. And let's see what 2025 has to offer. But I personally believe that any buyers or any sellers who are sitting on the fence to decide about their real estate move and they're just worried about the market, they shouldn't be, because they have to actually feel what the market has to offer. So they should not only just call me as their real estate broker, they can call their real estate broker and find out what exactly market has to offer back to them. They could be buyer or seller, because sometimes you think, oh, market is not good, I should not buy. Oh, sellers, market is not good, I should not sell. But who knows, you can sell a smaller property at a good price and buy a bigger property at a very good price. So win-win situation on both, right? So market can be favorable for anybody, anytime. It's the timing.
But you can never perfectly time the market. That's
Perfectly. Exactly.
That's also very important to understand.
Yes.
Is you can never perfectly time the market. If you're a first-time home buyer, that's what I always say is pull the trigger, get your first house, because it's better than paying somebody else's mortgage.
Yeah.
And for how long do you want to be a tenant? Another aspect is the emotional aspect. When you're living in a house as a tenant with your family, you're always kind of worried. What happens if the landlord decides to move into the house?
Yes.
Or if they decide to sell? Now I have to deal with the new landlord. And all those complications, right? So if you have the access to the down payment, the first thing because I've been a tenant in this country, and I own my own house, the house I live in. It's a very different feeling.
Yes.
So it's the emotional aspect that makes a lot of difference. It's not just always about, making profit out of everything.
Exactly.
It's about the safety and the peace of mind for your family members. When I was living in a house as a tenant, my mom was always worried that eventually we will have to move. So why do, how are we going to manage? And don't buy a lot of stuff, because when we're going to move, it's going to be a lot more headache, right?
Exactly.
So that's what the feeling we had. When we're living in our house, we know that we are probably going to stay here for a bit. And there's no landlord we have to deal with. And that peace of mind is a game changer.
Definitely. I agree, because people don't buy house financially. They first buy using their own feelings. If they feel they want to buy the house, they'll buy it. They'll look the financial part later. Because nothing has to do with money, right? Like your house can grow $1 million. The money is not sitting in the walls, right? You got to be creative to see how you can grow in this real estate portfolio. Yes.
No, amazing. Sam, I had an amazing conversation. And I really wanted to have to come to this podcast, because the way you have taken social media in the last few months is amazing. A lot of people think, but they cannot get to that level.
Yes.
And the amount of knowledge and the experience you're sharing with your viewers, I'm pretty sure it's going to pay you off in the long run.
Yes.
And hopefully you will do very well in the coming years.
Thank you for having me here, though. Thank you for having. It was really nice chatting with you, and hope to have more podcasts, man.
100%.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.